When Caitlin Clark secured that 10th rebound, the only thing that was going through my mind was the Indiana Fever are about to sell this game. They're about to lose this game, and Caitlin Clark is about to make history. There's going to be a L on the game where this woman gets the first ever triple-double recorded by a rookie. And boy, was I wrong. Let's break down this fourth quarter. Let's go back over it, and let's see what exactly happened which allowed this Indiana Fever team to win this game. It was a game they should not have won. It was a game that I thought was over many times. It was a game in which the New York Liberty had many chances to hammer down the Indiana Fever and shut them up for good, but they never did it. And the Indiana Fever came out victorious. Without further ado, let's go ahead and break down this fourth quarter. For this Indiana Fever team, it starts with Caitlin Clark and it ends with Caitlin Clark. And even though the startup for Caitlin was amazing and the team was running through her, things went south. On this play, the Indiana Fever, they're down 11 points. And I just want you to check out what's happening. A full court press is happening on Caitlin Clark. You got no stop on the defensive side of the basketball, so they scored and you have to inbound the ball regularly. And if all these sets that are happening, not one of them lead to anything. None of these screens and none of these handoffs lead anywhere. There's only one part of this play where the Indiana Fever actually have a chance to score. It's when Lexi Hull was open in that corner, but Caitlin Clark just does not find her. The ball does not get to her, and after that, nothing else happens. That's a shot clock violation. I think there was either 4 or 5 shot clock violations in this game for the Indiana Fever. The offense was in a terrible state. But you want to know what kept them in the game? It was defense. When they get stops and Caitlin Clark gets the rebound and pushes the pace, good things happen. Check this out. She calls her own number. Big boy and one for Caitlin. You cannot stop Caitlin Clark when she's getting into that paint. She got into the lane. Easy layup right here. What I'm saying right now is that when the Indiana Fever gets stops and they get rebounds and Caitlin Clark pushes the pace, good things happen. Check this out. Defense leads to great offense. Off the rebound, Caitlin Clark pushes the pace, good things happen. Lexi Hull, look at Lexi Hull running, man. I think she was the X factor of this game. I love the way she played. Lexi Hull runs the floor. Caitlin Clark finds her at least 2 free throws. 2 free throws. Because if you play good defense and that leads to transition offense, good things are going to happen, especially if you have Caitlin Clark on your team. Check out this play. I really liked it. Aaliyah Boston ends up getting hurt, and Christy Sides goes to Demiris Dantas. They just signed Demiris. She just got on the team, and she has shown that she is a very good fit. She can space the floor. And in this game, she actually had 7 points on 3 of 3 shooting from the field. I think she needs a whole lot more minutes going forward. I'm so happy that Christy Sides brought her back in the game. And you know what? Some great coaching went on in this game because Erica Wheeler, she got no minutes down the stretch. I was so happy about that. Lexi Hull got a whole lot of playing time down the stretch. I'm so happy that Christy Sides didn't take her out of the game. Christy Sides actually did well for herself. So kudos to her. Now this next play is an amazing shot by Caitlin Clark. She just misses it. But what do you notice? What do you see? I see a dog. I see a dog in Lexi Hull. She played amazing in this game. She was the player of the fourth quarter. They would not have won this game if Lexi Hull was not in there. It wasn't just on the offensive side. It was on the defensive side. She played amazing defense. She came with effort. She is a dog. Y'all think I'm lying? Look at this defense. Look at this defense by Lexi Hull. Good defense leads to great offense. Then you get to push the pace even off the inbound. Caitlin Clark pushes the pace. She finds Nalissa Smith. Easy 2 free throws for Nalissa. She could have made that layup, but she made it a little bit harder on herself. Regardless, you get 2 free throws. Good things are happening when you have good transition offense, and it's always going to come off of a stop. What you have to do is you have to stop the defense. Even if you have to inbound the ball, push the pace off an inbound. Preferably, you want to stop the other team and be able to get the rebound and not have to inbound it. But even if you do, just push the pace. When you push the pace, good things are bound to happen. Can I be honest with y'all? I thought this is where the game was over. This play right here, I thought it was over for the Fever. This was actually pretty decent defense. And I thought the closeout from Lexi Hull was actually pretty decent. But at the end of the day, the shooter just made a good shot. The shooter just made a good shot. And that is a very demoralizing shot. You're finally putting together a couple stops, a couple layups. And guess what? the other team shows you why they were in the finals last year. And I thought this was the end of it. You have a 68-75 game, and I said it's over. After this play, the Indiana Fever went about 1 minute and 30 seconds without scoring. The New York Liberty really sold because they had more than a minute, about a minute and a half, to put the dagger into the Indiana Fever, and they never did. They never did. Look at this terrible offense that's happening in this 1 minute and 30 second stretch. What is this? Every single screen and handoff you see, nothing happens. It literally, there is no improvement from every single action they run on this play. And it leads to another shot clock violation. I'm telling y'all, I don't know if it was just me, but I did not see any way for the Indiana Fever to pull off this W. But guess what? In that 1 minute and 30 second stretch, the other team didn't score either. It was a good defense. And off the rebound, Caitlin Clark is pushing the pace. Good things happen. Check out this and one by Caitlin Clark. She goes up strong. You love to see it. This is one of the things that was really spectacular for Caitlin Clark in this game. Her game is really growing. She even hit a fadeaway mid-range jump shot early in this game. I'll even show it. She hit a fadeaway mid-range jump shot. She played amazing, and she got to the rim in this game. And she did that in the last game. She's been doing that over the last 5 games. She's been getting to the paint, making layups. It adds a layer to her game. I know she missed a lot of 3-point shots in this game, and she has as of late. She's going to make them eventually. Mark my words. When she starts making those 3-point shots, if she consistently can get to the lane as well, her game is going to be really open. And that mid-range shot is going to be really open. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Caitlin and how even if she's missing 3-point shots, she's able to score. This play brought the Indiana Fever back into the game. If it was not for this play, I do not believe the Indiana Fever would have came back. This changed the momentum. And look what happens next. Caitlin Clark gets the rebound and pushes the pace. She pushes the pace, and look who's running. Mrs. Kelsey Mitchell. Big time shot from Kelsey. And look at the chemistry from Caitlin to Kelsey. What I love to see is this all-star backcourt playing together and off of each other. I love this shot from Kelsey Mitchell. I love this play entirely. I love the defense. Every single one of these great plays, nearly all of them, has to do with defense. It starts with defense. Defense leads to offense. The Golden State Warriors have arguably the greatest offense ever, and it starts with defense. If they were not one of the best defensive teams in the NBA, none of their great offense would have happened. If you didn't have Iguodala and Draymond and Sean Livingston and Klay Thompson all down in big-time defensive stances, getting big-time stops, that Golden State Warriors offense would have never happened. Because if you're not getting stopped and not getting rebounds off the stop and not pushing the pace off of those stops, you miss out on a whole lot of big-time buckets. For the Indiana Pacers even, for them to get over that hump this season, what it took was the Indiana Pacers buckling down on the defensive side of the basketball, Rick Carlisle getting his boys in check. And when that happened, they started winning big-time games against the New York Knicks because they started playing defense. Defense leads to transition offense. If you're allowing the other team to score and you have to bring the ball up the court, drill it up the court, and the other team is able to get into a defensive set, you already lost. If you want to have one of the greatest offenses ever, you have to push the pace. And the only way you can push the pace is in transition. And the only way you get those transition looks is if you get stops. The Indiana Fever have to get stops, and it starts with defense. It starts with defense. Great offense starts with defense. Speaking of defense, look at this steal by Kelsey Mitchell. Look at the steal. I love it. And guess what? That pick and roll action with her and Aaliyah Boston, amazing. Amazing. I love what I'm seeing. The game is flipped on its head. It just got flipped upside down. For no reason. I don't know how this happened. This should not have happened, but it happened. It happened because you play defense. And if you get stopped and you just push the pace, good things happen. It starts with defense. They call Christy Sides a defensive coach, and yet her defense this year so far has been terrible. Even in this game, the defense was terrible. But when they get stops, the offense is able to click. A lot of people talk about the Fever and look at them and say, oh, Caitlin Clark must not be a great rookie because she's leading this team and they have a lot of talent, but they're not doing anything with it. I mean, they started off, 1 for 8 in the season? Like, they had 1 win, 8 losses. It was terrible, right? It doesn't matter how much offensive talent you have. You can have Alyssa Smith, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark. You can have all the offense in the world, but you cannot put that offense to good use if you're not going to play good defense. This was a terrible defensive play. The Indiana Fever got lucky that she missed that 3-point shot in the corner. But off the rebound, pushing the pace, good things happen. Good things happen. And Caitlin Clark finds Lexi Hull, who I think was the X factor of that fourth quarter, who I think was the player of the fourth quarter. I'm so glad she got minutes. I'm so glad she was in the game, because not just on the offensive side of the basketball, on the defensive side of the basketball, she was so worth it. We're talking about a 2023 Defensive Player of the Year in the Athletes Unlimited League. Lexi Hull is a great defender, but if she's playing with that dog in her on the offensive side of the basketball, and her offense is not so trash to where you can't even play her, I'm telling you, she makes a big difference. The Indiana Fever have a nice, comfortable 4-point lead. And this is where I say if they get one more stop, they run away with it. But then Sabrina Ionescu, she reminds you who she is, arguably the greatest 3-point shooter in the entire WNBA, Sabrina. She makes that big-time 3-point shot that not many players can make besides to Caitlin Clark. Props to her for that shot. But guess what? The New York Liberty do not bring themselves back into this game. And the reason is totally their fault. Look at this play. Sabrina Ionescu has a very great opportunity to get the lead back, and she misses the 3. And then Lonnie Hamilton just dribbled the ball off of her own foot. She dribbles the ball off her own foot, and the Indiana Fever just kind of got lucky here. I mean, they just things just happened in their favor. This game should not have been won by them. There was a 1 minute and 30-second stretch where they did not score any points, and they're down 6 points. There's no way the Fever should have ran away with this game, but they did. The noise in Indiana was too much for this New York Liberty team, and they folded under pressure. There was truly one more opportunity for the New York Liberty to get themselves back into this game. There's another easy 3-point shot that would have tied the game, and Sabrina Ionescu just misses it. I'm telling you, the New York Liberty was just missing shots. They were missing shots. You could say the defense was great, but at the end of the day, they missed a lot of shots. And the Indiana Fever, they just benefited from it. And that's the end of my breakdown of the fourth quarter. And let me tell you guys my main takeaways of the game. For one, Caitlin Clark is keeping herself in the Rookie of the Year race. You know what? A lot of people, after Angel Reese's amazing game last night, were saying that Angel Reese is leading the race by far and that she's running away with the award. And I did not think that was true. The reason I don't is because I think it's very close. For anybody saying that one is leading by far, whether it be Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese, you're being an idiot, because this is a very close race. Caitlin Clark's averaging, 17, 6, and 7. And then you have Angel Reese, who's averaging 14 and 12. This race is very close. And I think Caitlin Clark, this game, just proved that this is going to come down to the wire. For two, I cannot help but really love the pickup of Damaris Dantas. She is looking like the right fit. I really like the idea of her backing up Aaliyah Boston. I think this could really work out. She's a really great fit so far, and I need to see more minutes from her as we go on. I hope this game wasn't just a little experimental game and then Chrissy Sides never gives her any more playing time. She needs to be a part of the offense. All in all, this was a spectacular win from the Indiana Fever. If they make the playoffs this year, which right now they're set to make it, they do what Caitlin Clark said that her goal was coming into this season. Her goal was to make the playoffs. I think this will be the first time for the Fever in, about a decade. This will be really great for the team and the franchise. So I hope they can keep winning big-time games like this and secure a playoff spot.